The Fantastic Beasts movies are movies that I never really had interest in, and I wasn't really bothered about them until my good friend Harry Thomas requested that I'd review them along with Harry Potter and the Deadly Hallows Part 1 and Part 2, which I'm curious about, to say the least, and I think I was kind of interested to see how these movies would go. Harry said these movies are absolutely fantastic, and along with some people, I actually agree with that. However, the Crimes of Grindelwald sequel was considered really meh by critics, and Harry said it was great, so I said, you know what, I'll check it out for myself. I have to say, after watching these movies, I have to say, these movies are great. They are a ton of fun. So the story is both of these films, we have Newt, a young wizard who wants to become a wizard and protect all these different kinds of beasts from other wizards who are trying to murder them. Well, that's how I'd sum it up, since I'm reviewing these two movies together in one review. As for my thoughts on the first one, which I'm about to talk about, I gotta say, this is a very good movie. I was surprised how much I enjoyed this film. I thought the film was very engaging, it was a lot of fun, and it also had some good mix of comedy and drama. The acting, I think, is really good as well, and my thoughts on the second film apply the same, except I think the second one is even better than the first one. The effects in both of these movies are awesome, especially with the final battles. I think the second film got more darker and much more dramatic, and a lack of comedy than the first one. These movies also have a lot of heart and charm in them, which is another thing that makes these films great. And just overall, I really like these movies. The main character Newt, I really like him in both of the films. In the first one, he's like a young boy who wants to be a hero, and then the second film, he gets more mature, wiser, older, grown up. He reminds me a lot of Hiccup in Soren. The voice reminds me of Zorin, and his character reminds me a lot of Hiccup. There's Jacob and Queenie, which I think are very likable characters, and they add a lot of charm to the movies. Well, there are other characters, but I'm not going to talk about every single one. But I'll say they're either good or cool. As for my thoughts on the villains, well, there's not a lot to say. Graves in the first one is okay. He's not terrible, but he just doesn't do a lot until he's in the final battle. But he's just like when he's in the final battle, I didn't feel much of a build up, and he's just kind of hard to follow. Really, follow his arc. I mean, he's not terrible, but he just doesn't do much for me. Grindelwald, however, I thought was a very intimidating and very cool villain. Well, intimidating, yes, he was very threatening, but he didn't do a lot, and that's my issue with both of these villains. They don't do a lot. Grindelwald only does something until the final battle. Don't get me wrong, the final battle in both of these movies are great. However, Grindelwald, I wish they could have done more with his villain, because he seems like really cool and intimidating and built up. Well, he's better than the previous villain, but he's just... I wish there could have been more development around him. And he's really my only issue with the second film. However, as for my issues in the first film, it's kind of difficult to make a story out of it. And I think overall, the first film kind of is a little bit too drawn out. Not that they're like drags. The second film didn't drag that much, but the first one I felt kind of a little bit too long. But other than that, I think both of these movies are very good films, and I'd give the first film, Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them, an 8 out of 10, and I'd give its sequel, Crimes of Grindelwald, a 9 out of 10. I have to say, I'm really glad I saw these movies. Thank you so much, Harry, for requesting me to review them. I really enjoyed them, I was very surprised by them, and I think they're overall great films. There is going to be a third one coming out that has been delayed from 2020 to 2021. Yeah, quite a while to wait, but it's only 2 years. I mean, you know, it'll be worth the wait. 3 years, 3 years is not a long wait for a sequel. To be fair, I mean, Kung Fu Panda 1 and 2, 3 years, 3 years between them in terms of release. How to Train Your Dragon 1 and 2, 4 years between them in gap release, year release if you get me. So yeah, guys, see you guys next time for my next review, and have a good day. Skadoosh.